It is very hot in Chicago right now. I'm not sure what the exact temperature is, but it's very humid, and we're under a heat advisory, I believe, through tomorrow, and it's like probably close to 90 degrees without the heat index, like without factoring in. I think it's called heat index, like factoring humidity or whatever. It's very hot. So I probably will be out here about 40 minutes or so. The spot that I was planning to be at had someone playing guitar, which was pretty awesome to see his guitar playing. But I think this will be maybe a slightly quieter area. We do have a person with something. I thought that was an accordion, but I think it's an old camera. But in any case, it's good to be here. I see some cool people in the chat here. We got Neil, we got Martin, we got Jake. All right, I got some backup here. Great to have you guys here. Thanks for being here. And I got my sunblock. I've coated myself with this it's like a non-chemical sunblock, like with zinc. So I probably am I look like extra oily. I can see the little nanoparticles reflecting off my skin here. But it's what you got to do. Hey Jimmy, good to see you here. Glad that you could be here. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. And Jimmy, I saw your interview with Gary, by the way. I quite enjoyed watching that. I will go ahead and pull out my sign. And I have a little different line of questioning today, so I'm curious to see what you guys think about that. It's actually in relation to the heat index, or like the heat in general. I guess let me lower my phone just a hair here as well. It seems so low, like it's like well past my chin level, but I guess it's maybe the angle of the camera. Um, so it just makes it kind of like, I'm surprised that it's like able to see over my head. But anyway, got some people reading the sign and kind of smiling and walking away, but we'll see. We'll see if anybody decides to stop by. It's just kind of like it's an area where there's a lot of different different like kind of street activities, that kind of thing. I am a little bit kind of like, there's this little barricade that's kind of forcing me a little bit um, onto like the walkway. So I don't know. I might try to like pull somebody more to the side here somehow, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm definitely more up in people's faces a little bit. Neil says, "What mic do you use?" It's I don't even know. I got it from Amazon. It was like literally like less than $10. I want to say it was like $8. It's just like a basic, like I have an iPhone. It's just one of the old I guess Lightning style iPhones, and it's just like this little clip mic. I've kind of been thinking about whether or not I should upgrade my mic, but I kind of am like, if it's not broken, don't fix it, kind of a thing. So trying to make do with it for now. Hello. Would you like to be in the frame?
Not right now. I'm kind of working, but after that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's kind of a surprise. You kind of got to go through the experiment to know. What are you doing over there, by the way?
Still photos.
Like, is this a camera?
Well.
Oh,
yes,
I see.
It is a camera. It's camera inside of camera.
I see.
I'll be back. Yeah,
okay, sounds good. All right, we got an ambulance passing by. Sorry, it's going to be kind of loud right now. So, in case you guys were not aware, the ambulances in Chicago, the last I heard, the ambulances in Chicago are actually tied with New York for the loudest ambulance. And I think Chicago actually has it beat, because I believe the residents of New York were able to pass some kind of a regulation on the ambulances that required the horns to be directed downward, away from like the residences or high rises, that kind of thing. But I believe in Chicago they are pointed upward, and I think it's like 115 decibels or something like that. So ambulances here are extremely loud.
It was a social experiment.
Hi, would you like to participate?
Well, can you be homeless?
Of course.
Okay.
All right, great. So, if you want to maybe come over here, I've actually been. I think I'm a little bit too much in the way of people.
No, well, you're going to do it now because the sun's going to come out.
Yeah, I feel you. So, if you want to come in the frame, I'm actually live on YouTube. If that's all right,
Okay,
you okay to be live on my YouTube?
Hey, I'm Chris Garcia. I've been a DJ my whole life. I'm also a Chicago public school teacher.
I can hold it for you if you don't mind.
Oh,
Yeah, it picks up sound pretty well. It's actually
okay.
pretty sensitive.
And I'm homeless, but that's my fault. It a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't understand. Like a lot of times, people are homeless, but they choose to be homeless. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I think that we need to have love and respect for everyone, regardless of whatever
No, no.
conditions.
So I'm not an alcoholic. I drink alcohol as much as I can. But sometimes there's alcoholics that drink at home and they need to drink alcohol. I drink alcohol so I don't have to remember anything that goes around me.
Hmm.
Now I was a Chicago public school teacher at the best schools. I don't want to name them, but there was one on
These people wouldn't really know the street, and because people all over the world who are watching right now.
okay. I was at the #1 Manning school, and
What
you
school?
know
Medic.
the #1 Manning school. All right, it was Walt Disney Elementary School in Chicago. So I went there. I swear, my mom just died 2 years. That's how I got depressed.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So I haven't been in school for a while. But this was like in 19. What was it? 15, 2015.
Okay, I was gonna say not 1915. You're not
No,
that old.
I'm pretty old. I was born in '72. I'm pretty old, so I've been through. Man, I've been through everything. But I went to this school. No lie. I'm on my mom's grave. My mom just died. I went because I was living at my friend's house. He's like, "Why don't you try to get a job?" I didn't want to get a job. So you know what I did? I went there with not with this shirt, but I went with a dirty polo shirt, some jeans, and gym shoes. At the #1 Manning School in Chicago. You know how long it took me to get hired? 15 minutes.
Oh wow.
15 minutes. There was no second. There was no second interview. You know how they do the second interviews and all that.
Second, third, fourth. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got hired because I had a lot of stuff that happened to me when I was a kid. So my mind is not working correctly. It's if you were like 15, well, you seem pretty cool. But if you were younger, like we can hang out and chill, whatever. And that's all I did. You know what I used to do? I used to put they give you it's called a lesson plan. I don't know how old you are, but
Late 30s.
okay. Well, they always give the teacher a lesson plan, so they had to get through so much. They had to get through the history book. They had to go through spelling bees.
Well, Chris, let me ask you this, if you don't mind me interrupting.
Oh, go ahead.
So you said that your mind isn't maybe working. Great, but
No, it's working perfectly. So
okay.
I could work at any school I want. They're dying to hire me, but I just don't want to. I just don't want to. I'm not functioning correctly.
I see. Well, sorry if I assumed anything, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is, how does your mind or maybe your heart? Maybe let me kind of introduce what I'm doing here. So I'm trying to convince people to care about animals.
Oh, I love animals. I used to have a dog, Daisy, and you know what dogs do when they're old and they're about to die and they're limping and stuff. They run away from the house and they go die somewhere.
Oh wow!
Did you know
I
that?
hadn't heard that. I mean, I'd heard that maybe some animals do, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
dogs do that. So I used to have a dog, Daisy. She lived to 14, and yeah, she left the house, and she used to leave the house once in a while and go like go to the neighbors or whatever, or go look for food or whatever the hell she did. But she left the house once and never came back, and we're like, I guess she's dead. And man, I cried my ass off.
Yeah. So if I could give you some information, this is basically about animals that we don't always think of. So you see a pig and a dog, but
I know I
also
would do that, man. My mom's house is in what do you call it? What do you call that? Where the bank has it in? It's in not Skid Row. What's it called?
I'm not sure.
I still have the house, but I have a big yard, and my dog Daisy died like a long time ago. But I would take a dog and like put him in the yard or whatever.
Yeah, and if you could, check out that information. It's got information about how I get that you're kind of in a more difficult situation, but
Yeah, but not for them. I have enough money for to buy him dog food and stuff,
yeah,
and I usually get the good stuff.
yeah. And
Now,
this is kind
not
of
the ones that are on TV, but like puppy chow or whatever's in the can.
yeah.
But I'll definitely do that.
Great. Well, thank you so
Oh,
much.
but by the way,
Yeah.
I'm carrying my Social Security card because I don't know. People were telling me Donald Trump is like deporting people. I'm a third generation American, so I don't know. But
I feel you. All right. Well, it was really nice to meet you, and I'm gonna actually try to move because I think they're about to start a performance here. It's gonna be kind of maybe loud, but Chris,
Okay.
it was really good to meet you.
Okay.
Take care. All right. All right. So I'm gonna move. There's a performance that's about to start here with these people. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's like I don't know if they're doing like acrobatics or something. Yeah, they're playing some kind of loud music. So go ahead and I'll see if that guitar guy is still there. And now that I have some people watching, we can see if that guitar is too loud over there. All right. Looks like that guy is packing up. Actually, oh man, I want to kind of talk to him about. He has like a ton of pedals and stuff. I'm a big guitar aficionado. For anyone who didn't know, but yeah, I think this is an okay place to set up. And then set the camera here. There aren't as many people out as you can expect with the heat wave of these proportions. Um, but I wonder if can you guys see okay? Like, is the color balance okay? Because I'm facing light. So I don't know if I should. Can you guys let me know if maybe the color balance is a little off? I wonder if I think if I go like this, it's a little bit better. I think this might be better. So I'll put it over here. I'm gonna try that. Are you still performing? Oh, you're all done. Okay. All right. You got a lot of pedals there. Would you like to participate? We could talk a little shop about guitars too. I said we could talk shop about guitars too. Oh, you have an SG? Sweet. What kind of pickups do you have in there?
I have no clue.
Oh, just stock, probably 498T Alnico 5.
They're humbuckers of some kind.
Yeah.
They're the ones that were on the guitar when I got it. And
Well,
like,
for someone who knows as much about gear as I do, but has like 1/4 the level of your chops, I'm pretty humbled by the fact that you don't know what pickups they are.
yeah, some kind of humbucker.
Nice. So, would you mind being live on my YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. What's your name?
Koyama.
Koyama the guitar shredder.
Yeah.
So my name is Haas, and I have a YouTube channel called Haas Vegan, and basically I'm an animal rights activist. So I'm asking people questions about animals, and the question that one question that kind of popped in my mind as I was walking here I just talked to someone else. I didn't really get to get into it. So you're the only kind of like you're the only second person that I've talked to today, and I'm wondering. So I was thinking about how hot it is outside,
Yeah.
and we're getting kind of like scorched by this heat, and I happened to read that there are actually instances where research on dogs was conducted has been conducted to test burns on like the effects of being burned.
Yeah.
So dogs have actually been shaven and burned with hot plates in order to like test skin healing and stuff like that. Um, what do you think about that?
I think that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. And so, would it be fair to say that you would be in favor of like outlawing those kinds of experiments?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that there should be some kind of regulations around stuff like that. 'Cause that's-
Yeah, and I guess like if you could kind of instantiate some kind of legal regulation about that process, like what would it be? Like what kind of legal statute? I guess what would the phrasing maybe look like?
Well, I mean, like it's never right to abuse animals, of course, even for science. But like, that's a good question. I don't know how we would approach something like that. I mean, outlawing it sounds like just the best option. But then you have to keep in mind like research and all that. And of course, there's probably humane ways to do research. And there are people who are abusing animals in their research are probably taking shortcuts in order to, get a result that they're looking for.
Yeah, so I guess in the case of like burning animals for research purposes, would you say like that even though that is for research purposes, that it's kind of like, I guess how would you demarcate like that versus like a different type of medical research? With some degree of necessity, maybe like you would intuit like, okay, we know that if a hot plate comes onto your skin, like if you touch the stove, you're gonna get burned, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I think there might with animals, there's no way of proving consent, And we're, I assume that this testing is for to develop treatments for humans. I imagine.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So why not we have it so we have willing participants engage in these experiments other than unwilling animals,
Yeah, I think honestly, I think it would be much more ethical rather than having dogs, rounded up, shaven, and burned with hot plates to have consenting humans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible to think about. It's grim to think about a human being like, how badly do I need that $500 or whatever they're going to pay? But I still think that that's more ethical because the subject has total informed consent about the degree of harm they're going to experience.
Absolutely.
And they're going in with the degree of compensation that they're willing to incur. Now, some people have said things like, "Oh, let's test on prisoners" or something like that.
But that's also
I'm
fucked
not.
up,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not in favor of that. I think there needs to be consent. You can't force on people. Consenting. I think a prisoner should be allowed to be a subject if they wish to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they should be deprived of the ability to participate. So it sounds like you have at least like an idea of like instances where consent really matters especially for unnecessary type things.
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering what you think about the animals who get forced into slaughterhouses. Clearly they can't consent, and it's for unnecessary foods.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm biased because I eat meat and I enjoy eating meat, and I think it's just a natural part of, being a living thing is just part of nature. Is that predators eat prey. We even eat we can count plants as living things. That's just my opinion where I'm coming from.
Yeah. So it is true. I guess maybe I'll start from the we're animals and basically like omnivorous nature biology. So we can eat like a fully carnivorous diet, or we can eat a fully plant-based diet. So really, like, there's no necessity either way. I think like our greatest advantage as a species is our brains, our ability to recognize, see the sentience in other beings. Now you mentioned plants.
Yeah.
So I think the jury is, let's just say it's decided that plants do in fact feel pain.
Yeah.
But I mean, before I get to that part, I guess I'm wondering. So like, if there was like a burning house and there was like a dog inside who was about to get burned by the house fire, and then there was somebody like mowing a lawn across the street,
Very
which
different.
which one would you think would be a bigger moral issue?
Oh, probably the dog.
Like leaving the
fire,
dog in the fire. Yeah. So I mean, if you think about it, that's like tons and tons of blades of grass that are getting ruthlessly bisected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the other thing is that if you believe that plants do in fact feel pain, you would actually cause fewer plant casualties if you were eating the plants directly yourself. Because when we raise an animal, we have to feed a cow like 16 times the amount of grains.
Infinitely more energy.
Yeah, if you look at trophic levels.
Yeah, because plants they absorb their food from the sun, photosynthesis, and all that.
Yeah, and plants are actually the original source of protein. They photosynthesize, they make chains of amino acids.
Every other living thing lives off of plants because plants don't require living things to, be alive. That's why algae were kind of like one of the first things to evolve and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that. I heard this idea that we came out of the ocean and then we were some kind of rat creature that like a lizard thing and then a rat thing that crawled up a tree and then became a monkey or something. I mean, not literally became a monkey, but like diverging families of biology and evolutionary trajectories, I guess. But I want to get back to the thing about enjoying the taste of eating animals. So do you think that like, without kind of posing these hypotheticals to you and kind of trying to box you into admitting that something is messed up and then reflecting it on the current situation, I guess, do you think that taste is a good enough justification to cause harm, like taste pleasure?
That is a good question. I don't really know how to answer it. I feel kind of like naturalized into eating meat, I guess.
Well, yeah,
in a weird way.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. I mean, there's this idea that eating animals is normal, natural, and necessary.
Yeah.
And then there's also the idea concurrently that not eating animals is unnatural, unnecessary, and abnormal. So, you can walk around and you can see caricatures of chickens. You can see happy cows on milk cartons. There's companies called like Fair Life, which is like preposterous to think of a cow who's been, impregnated repeatedly, having her baby stolen repeatedly, having her sons either shot in the head or turned into veal, repeatedly having a fair life. But I digress. So would you then say that, I guess, if you maybe do you need time to reflect on it, maybe to consider whether?
I think so, yeah.
Can you think of outside of food, I guess, like, so let's say that I guess let me come up with maybe a somewhat humorous, not humorous, but like ludicrous, out there kind of hypothetical. So let's say that I like to, and I'm not trying to like catch you up in some kind of an ethical bind or something. I'm more just kind of making like an analogous situation. So if I like leave fruit out in my apartment for too long, it starts to attract fruit flies. If the fruit rots, etc. So if I liked to do that and I just had like a ton of fruit flies in my apartment on purpose because I really enjoy clapping and killing them. I don't need to do it, but I just really enjoy it. And we're just talking about a fruit fly. We're not talking about like a pig or a cow or a chicken. Just a tiny little basic ass fruit fly. Would you still go to bat for the rights of those fruit flies to not have someone clap them to death en masse just for sensory pleasure?
Well, yeah. I mean,
it would be messed up of me to do, right?
It would be. Like, just killing flies pointlessly, I guess. I mean,
what makes it pointless?
Well, I mean, the hypothetical is that you're purposely rotting your fruits in order to attract them. Just so
like a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap.
What if I eat them what if I clap them and then I just eat them?
I mean,
And that might even be a more humane killing, actually, compared to like putting a pig in a gas chamber, hanging up by their feet, cutting them ear to ear.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think it's okay to eat flies. I mean, like, it's gross. It's probably not good for you, but like, it's probably all right. I don't see anything fucked up.
But I'm talking about killing them and eating them. So you said that just killing them, just clapping them, and then maybe washing my hands or something would be problematic, right?
Yeah,
but if I clap them and then eat them, even though I don't really need to, I don't really gain much caloric sustenance from it. Is that what makes it ethical versus not ethical? Just the eating of them afterwards?
Yeah, well, I guess, I feel like there's like some intention in the act of consumption, I guess.
Do you think it matters to the victim what the intention is? Like what the person intends to do with their body after taking their life?
Probably not.
Yeah. And I'll leave you with that. I think that's a good point to kind of to end this. And I'd like to just give you some information. This is from a place called Vegan Outreach. And I just encourage you to check that out. And I'd also encourage you, are you over 18?
I am.
Okay, so there's a documentary. It's called Dominion. I'd recommend to watch it on YouTube if you just type in Dominion 2018. I believe it's narrated by Joaquin Phoenix, and it basically gets into all the different ways that humans use a variety of different species. And it's very difficult to watch. It's basically like a real-life horror movie. But I think, if you're looking for the products that derive from these industries, I think you owe it to yourself to know what you're paying for. Great, Koyama. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and awesome skills on guitar, by the way.
Thank you, and I enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you. Great meeting you.
You as well. You have a good day.
Oh, tuner.
My tuner.
All right. So, I see Evil Steven saying he said he was going to use the tablet but didn't have time to set it up. Yeah, I do have a tablet that I want to bring sometimes to do outreach with. I think it'll be good to be able to kind of show people in person what the implications are of these industries. And I still have about 15-ish minutes, so let's see if we can get one more conversation before we pack it up for the day. It is really hot out here, by the way. I'm like, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm like, I put like sweat droplets in the thumbnail, and it has actually materialized IRL. It's awesome to have you here, Jake. I saw part of your stream earlier today. You've been putting in the hours, man. Major respect for your dedication if you're still here. I mean, respect for your dedication regardless, but I mean, in case you're here to hear me say that. So I'm holding the sign that says, "Come participate in a social experiment." I know it's backwards on YouTube, but I'm basically just trying to get people to care about animals. So we'll see. Maybe I can talk to at least one other person. We need to kind of wrap up around like 30 minutes after the hour, but I'm going to do my best to non-forcefully wrangle someone in here. There was that photographer guy who was wanting to chat, but I think it's just probably too loud over there because there was like a performance setting up. Martin says planting seeds. Yeah, trying. I wonder how many seeds I'm really planting by just standing here. But I've been through this whole spiel before. I think we're always planting seeds when we're just doing something with our passion for animals. And who knows, maybe somebody watching resonates with the message of liberating animals, or maybe somebody watching gets inspired to get active if they already adhere to those values. So we'll see. Um, got about 10 minutes here. It's not even that sunny out anymore. It's just really, really humid and hot. I think I'll maybe try moving my tripod just a little bit away from the sidewalk because I think maybe people just feel like I'm not giving them enough room to kind of like step to the side here. So we'll see. Happy to announce I'm back in the gym. I had a knee injury last week after kind of a run that was too long for my own good. So the arms are going to be back hopefully within a few weeks. The streets are a little bit more sparsely populated today. Jake says, good luck with the footage. I was trying yesterday and had no luck at all. Asking about animals seems to work best for me. Yeah, I saw that, Jake. You were asking, do you like animals? Which I think that's it's an interesting approach because I think people don't really want to say no to that. But I've also had it happen where like if somebody's walking a dog, for example, and I say like, do you like animals? They'll point to the dog and be like, see, of course I do. And they'll kind of maybe like keep walking and not really engage with the full, like the totality of the question. But different prompts probably work better in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. I think it would be a trip to try to do some outreach or activism in different parts of the country.
How long will it take?
I've got only 8 minutes before I got to pack up, so maybe 5.
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, great. Want to come into the frame here?
Sure.
All right, so my name is Haz. What's your name?
Anthony,
Anthony, cool, nice to meet you.
pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. And so basically, if you weren't aware, we're going through a heat wave here.
Yeah, we're tourists, so.
Okay. Where are you visiting from?
Denver.
Okay, cool. I've been there. Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Denver and Boulder, and
Yeah.
I really like them both. I swung by Scottsdale while I was out there too.
Oh, nice.
Arizona. Yeah, beautiful part of the country. So my question is kind of about with this heat wave that we have. I'm wondering what you would think about. It's kind of a serious topic, but I recently learned about experiments where burns. So we're all trying to avoid sunburns, but burn research was actually implicating dogs in the research and basically shaving their fur and pressing a plate on them in order to test the burn healing kind of stuff. So I'm wondering what you think. Is that ethical?
Zero.
In
No.
your view? Yeah.
No, I'm not a big fan of anything where you're torturing anybody or any animal.
What would you say if somebody said, well, this is going to produce life-saving findings or something like that, or findings that can help people who have gotten burned or help scientists develop skin grafts or something like that?
So I have a really simple answer to that, and it's we're at the point in technology where we've got computers in your hand. You can fly people to the moon. We're doing things beyond what anybody could have imagined even 20 years ago, let alone 100. If the brightest minds of our generation can't figure out a better way of doing research that will move us forward and eliminate these problems, what are we doing? We kind of lost, our soul and humanity.
Yeah, I agree completely. So I guess if I can pivot in light of your answers to that question, I'm wondering what you think about the advent of lab-grown meat.
So I will be honest, I don't know as much about it as I should, but as somebody who loves hamburgers, literally came from eating a hamburger a few minutes ago, can't get enough of them, probably will have one with dinner tonight if I'm being honest. I think lab-grown meat is the future. I know that I eat meat and am not in a place where I'm, ready to stop that now, but I hope to be in a future where lab-grown meat is to the point where we don't ever have to hurt any animals, And I think ultimately too, from what I've heard from people, it could be healthier as well.
Maybe. I guess you wouldn't
Again,
have
I don't know that much about
tendons
it,
and veins and stuff like that in it.
Well, I just know people talk about veganism being healthier and like less likely to give you cancer. But again, I'm not a scientist. Like this is just from what I've heard, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, so a plant-based diet has been shown to help prevent or maybe even reverse the leading causes of disease, chronic illness, or leading causes of death, like chronic diseases like heart disease, including like strokes, heart attacks, diabetes, cancer, obesity. Obesity makes basically everything worse. So, but actually, I think that the health thing can be a motivator for people to adopt the plant-based diet. But I really, I felt a certain passion in you when you were talking about how, humanity has come this far when it comes to like not needing to literally torture, burn animals with metal plates anymore, based on the fact that it hurts them. And also when you talked about the lab-grown meat issue, you had a certain understanding that it hurts animals to slaughter them for food.
Yes.
And you didn't try any like dishonest type of thing, or like kind of I guess red herring type things that people often try when I talk to people, where they'll say kind of ludicrous excuses to continue doing it. So your honesty was really refreshing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy that you appreciate that.
Glad to hear that. So I guess one thing I'd just like to ask you about quickly, because I know that you got things to do, and I got things to do, but I'm just wondering about the taste pleasure aspect. Because I ate hamburgers, I ate cows and chickens for 20 some odd years of my life, but I've been vegan for almost 13 years now, and I stopped eating animals 2 years before that. And I consider myself pretty healthy. My labs all check out pretty fine. I stay relatively active. I probably get injured more than the average person, but that's because I kind of push myself a little too hard, probably. Case in point, I guess we both agree that we can lead happy and healthy lives without dairy, eggs, or meat. But I get the taste pleasure aspect, and I get that a lot of places don't yet cater to the vegan menu, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, though, I guess if you would consider the enjoyment of eating animals to eclipse the inconvenience, like if you're kind of to look at them in terms of like opposite sides of a coin, I guess, or like different sides of a spectrum. If you think, I guess I'm wondering if you think that the inconvenience that you would incur in maybe having to walk an extra half mile to go to a vegan restaurant, or to eat something that doesn't quite hit the same spot, maybe it takes a few weeks to adjust to, if that would kind of supersede the difficulty that an animal has to go through to be like bred and tortured and killed, basically.
So I'll tell you, I 100% think that we need to do better as a society, and that we should put the benefit of animals and people above our own comfort every step of the way. But I'll also admit to you, just honestly, like, as a human with faults, like, the few times that I've tried to eat less meat, like, I've struggled with it. Like, I've struggled with like energy levels and things like that. And like, I still, even though people might judge me for it, fall back on the convenience and the taste of it. And the truth is, sadly, if we're gonna get to a point where we get rid of all that, like, we need, like, humanity's just the kind of creature where we need things to be convenient to do the right thing, and we need to get to that point. And I fall under, that type of person that I could see you criticizing for that.
No, I mean, that may be based on misconceptions, because I actually have more respect for people who, such as yourself, who are very rare. This is a very rare, I've been doing activism for most of the time that I've been vegan, and it's actually very rare that a person will admit, like, yeah, this would be the ethically preferable thing to do, but the convenience outweighs, the difficulty that I would experience in changing. So I guess what I would wonder is just if you've seen like footage of what happens to animals, because I think that logically you're there, but maybe it just needs to hit your heart in a way where you connect with the
I've seen
gravity.
I'll be honest, I've seen it. I should do better having seen it. I'm not at that place yet. So I can imagine people that don't have my level of empathy towards the situation. If I'm not there, it'll take more to get them there. And that's just the truth of us and our flaws as humans, I'm not justifying it.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I think that it really is something that maybe if you just really recognize like our relatedness to those animals as our distant relatives kind of thing, like I do think that continuing to look into the subject would only kind of move you more in that direction, because you do seem extremely refreshingly intellectually honest, like, and it's not just lip service. I'm serious. Like, I I think that there are people who say very disingenuous things toward animals, regarding animals, and I'm not going to list them off because I don't want to throw people under the bus who I've talked to. But in any event, I'd just like to give you some information, I guess, in the spirit of helping you maybe continue to look into this. So this is from a place called Vegan Outreach, and basically kind of talks about the issues that animals go through, and then kind of like there's some like more kind of convenient plant-based type options. And every time you choose to eat a vegan meal instead of one that implicates animals, you are making a vote with your dollar. So, and then on the flip side, every time that you choose to purchase something, you're telling those places like, please slaughter more animals. I'm willing to pay for it. And of course, there's only so much we can do with our consumer power because of farm subsidies, bailouts, that kind of thing. A lot of it is actually supply side driven. Mm-hmm. So they supply the meat, and then people buy it, and then they'll cut the cost, or the government will maybe buy it up and distribute it to school programs and that kind of stuff. So it's definitely an uphill battle, but the institutional change where things get more convenient, that kind of thing, really only happens after there's a critical mass of people who are passionate enough and care enough to kind of put their money where their heart is.
No, you're 100% right. And I'll say this, for me, it's really more of a flaw of convenience, because I'm very fortunate that I'm in a position where I could choose to buy some of those alternative options. There are a lot of people out there, though, especially with the struggles going on in the country right now, who, they're just struggling to put food on the family for their tables, and, meat is a cheaper option. And unfortunately, I can't fault somebody who's just trying to prioritize their kids' well-being over everything else. And before we get the mass
what about
population,
yourself, though?
For someone like me, I need to do better. That's without question.
Yeah, and I think institutionally, the subsidies and stuff for why a burger at McDonald's might cost $3 or $4 instead of like $20.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't keep you any longer, Anthony. Thanks for stopping by, and I do appreciate your honesty and candor. I mean that. And like I said, I'm just here trying to basically speak up for animals. So
no, and I'll tell you, we need more people like you, and we need more people, who have the understanding I have that do better. And I'll be honest, I need to do better at some point, and I hope to get there, and hopefully society shifts in a way where it makes it easier for people who maybe want to do more, that can't right now because of that monetary limitation, that they get to that point where they can make those better choices.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, also, when you think about the cheapest foods in a grocery store, though, like tofu is pretty cheap, and all the grains, potatoes, obviously someone's not going to just sit and eat corn and potatoes and rice all day. So I do get that there's a little bit of like maybe a surcharge when it comes to like more interesting plant-based alternatives. But I think, like I said, we vote with our dollar. So I want you to also just think going forward that when you do vote with your dollar for something animal-based, like tonight, if you eat a hamburger, then you are responsible for what happens to that animal until you get to the point where hopefully, and I have faith, fingers crossed, that you will, not even faith because that's based on lack of evidence, but I have seen evidence that you do care. You're just maybe not at the point yet where that is something that you're ready to bring into fruition.
Yeah, and that, am I proud of that? No, but am I going to lie to you? No, not going to do that either.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, hope you enjoy the rest of your time in Chicago.
It was a true pleasure, and thank you for the work.
Likewise. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, take care. Enjoy the rest of your time here. All right, so that pretty much concludes the amount of time that I was going to be able to be out here. So thank you to everyone who is here. I'm glad that we didn't seem to have any technology issues for the most part. I thought that was a pretty good conversation, refreshing conversation. He was very honest, and it's really good when somebody can just look you in the eye and speak to you honestly. Actually, like even if they're not where you would hope they could be, it is truly refreshing when somebody is just honest about the fact that they should be doing better. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. It is extremely hot now, and I'm still probably going to be outside for a while yet. But that's it for me for now. And tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Chicago time, or whatever time you guys have, I will be interviewing Gary Yourofsky. So do try to tune in if you can. It'll be on my channel here. The live stream is already set for that, so you can set like a notification or something if you're interested in tuning in. we'll hopefully be raising some money for Sasha Farm. And thanks, Martin. Yeah, I hope to see you there. And thanks to everyone else who was here. And that's it for now. Take care, everybody, and keep being awesome. All right. Bye for now.